when the white wolf fought a silver-tongued devil. His army of elves, at his hooves did they revel. They came after me with masterful deceit. They broke down my loot and they kicked in my teeth, while the devil's horns minced our tender meat. And so cried the witcher, he can't be bleed. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty. At the edge of the world, fight the mighty horde that bashes and breaks you and brings you the morn. He thrust every yoke far back on the shelf, high up on the mountain from whence it came.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another Wednesday, Witcher Wednesday here on Tales from the Grim. We are getting ready to jump back into Family of Wraiths. I will let you know at the top of this show if you're watching on YouTube. Hopefully things will be fine. If you're watching live here on Twitch, our teleconferencing software Zoom is having a time tonight, so if you hear something with the audio or the video looks strange, please let us know in chat so I can try to correct. But again, the source software is just having it's run a marathon and being asked to run another one as we all live through the age of quarantine. But why are we here, everyone? It's to tell a collective tale between you, the Legion, myself, and our lovely players who you'll meet in just one second. If you would like to directly affect the narrative, please look straight down, and you can see that there are ways to either do exactly what Hawk just did. Give silver. How do you like that silver? Which is +2 to every roll for each player for the entire session. In addition to that, you may provide healing in the form of Swallow. You may perform a visit from the God himself, Gontar O'Dim, providing what looks to be a very favorable favor. But, as we will see in future episodes, may or may not be that. Of course, you can make anything as difficult as you would like by using the donations, and if you would like to join us, you can do so as well. Take your own trial of the grasses and you'll be featured in a standalone flashback episode, and join the cast for at least one episode inside the main stream. But that is that, and that is why we are here to tell the story. How can we be here? We have fantastic sponsors. Artausorian Games is here, and they are going to be giving away a PDF of the core rulebook this session. So whenever I activate here in just the next few minutes, I will be activating the giveaway for the PDF to make sure it covers our whole time. Type in !PDF and you'll be entered to win. It should be starting up here in the next 2 minutes. And so in addition to that, we are also here with our virtual tabletop of choice, Roll20. Roll20 is here to make sure that your stories don't stop just because we can't be next to each other. So if you're used to taking to a wooden table and rolling your dice across it, you may now take to a virtual one. Roll your virtual dice. But the best thing about it is the stories do not stop. So go to www.roll20.net /start/Tales from the Grim. Open up your free account, tell your friends to do likewise, get the band back together, get the party back together, and keep the good times rolling. With that being said, if you see directly up this direction in the corner of the screen right now, there are 3 interesting little bubbly bars. Here on Witcher Family of Wraiths, instead of awarding experience points, we do it similar to the way they do in the video game. When quests are completed, all of the characters and PCs involved gain IP, which is improvement points here in the Witcher system. You will see a couple of those get completed tonight, I think, and with that, IP will be awarded for the next session. But the story starts from this point, everyone. A lot of things have come to a head. We are very close to where they all meet. If Zoom allows us to continue long enough, we may see at least one of those tonight. But that's a story that needs to be written, not predicted. And so I will bring in the cast right now. Everybody, welcome in this lovely, lovely cast. Welcome back to Witcher Family of Wraiths. Let's quickly go around and say hi, who you'll be playing, and what do you think of current Broccolon Forest where you find yourselves. Let's start with JF. JF, my friend, how are you?
I'm muted, but not anymore. I'm good. Playing Dusa of Gamera, Forest of Broccolon. It's been quite a hallucination for Dusa. Yeah, let's see what strange fruit these visions bear.
Very good. And so, as visions and forests and waterfalls, oh my, let's drop down to Josh. Josh, my friend, who are you going to be playing? And are you ready to continue your adventure here in Broccolon Forest?
No, I'm ready to leave, Greg.
Oh, okay.
I'm ready to be out of this place. Yeah, I will be playing Aris of Gesso, one of two members of the party who is so not welcome in this place, which sucks because he likes Broccolon. Broccolon is just gorgeous. It's been a lot of fun just to be able to amble about, but I feel like we've outstayed our welcome now. Aris is a School of the Viper Witcher, brother of the implacable, unbreakable, unwaverable Whim, and he's going to be very excited. Well, hopefully, fingers crossed, we are going to get a step closer to getting towards a dwarf tonight. But I have a feeling that there's something we've got to take care of involving a duke beforehand. Because that guy, just the worst.
We'll see.
But I'm sure it'll be wrapped up super quick.
Right, I'm at 15 minutes tops. Let's jump over to Lindy. Lindy, my friend, how are you? And are you ready to exit, if JF and Josh are to be believed, exit Broccolon Forest?
Yeah, hi, I'm doing super spiffy. I'm guessing it feels like thus far Broccolon Forest has less flying termites than outside my house and inside my house does currently. So I'm okay staying here for a little bit, but I know we've got like places to be and things to do, I guess. So I guess Yannicka is as ready as she'll ever be to leave Broccolon Forest and just keep on keeping on, not fall into the water.
Good. Okay. Good.
Yep.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's jump up to Bill. Billy, how are you, my friend? Who will you be playing? And are you ready to continue? Let's just say the adventure. We'll just say Broccolon's getting a lot of grief tonight. We'll just say are you ready to continue the adventure?
Hi, I'm Billy, Bill of the Forest on the Twitters. I'm super excited. Josh, your paycheck for weekly compliments is in the mail. So thank you for that. Trade well executed. But I'm Whim, playing Whim of Geheso, brother to the dashing, brooding, not problematic at all, Eris of Geheso. Yeah, he looks so good. So good looking. I'm excited to progress to the next step. Broccolon Forest has been interesting and amazing, but there are more pressing things at hand than nature's beauty.
Well, agree to disagree on that one. But let's jump up for our final cast member and party member. Prax, my friend, how are you? Who will you be playing? And are you ready to GTFO?
I'm good. Hey y'all, you know me, I'm Prax, and I get to play Infra, the party's mage. She likes Broccolon, I guess. It's too landlocked for her, not enough salt air. That, could be a little further closer to a coastline from her perspective. Also, she's a little tired, and she heard vaguely that somebody saw something, but she didn't really understand a lot of it, and then she passed out. So she has no clue about any possible hauntings that we're suffering. Doesn't know anything about it. And totally ready to leave here.
Okay, good. Everybody has made preparations. Those always work out in RPGs. I would like to let everybody know before we start officially the session that Hawk has contributed $20, so you all have silver for this session, which is +2 to all of your rolls. And the silver-tongued devil con man extraordinaire, Elijah Sawyer, has donated $10 to hear those winds howl and make things harder and or better for me. And so, with that being said, I will also let everybody know that any donations that come in are split evenly among the cast. So any donations go to the hard work and passion of the players that you see surrounding me. And with that being said, we find ourselves beside a waterfall in beautiful Broccolon Forest, perhaps the last vestige of nature's true beauty, where the creatures of the convergence, the height of natural wonders continue to coexist without the incursions of the humanoid races, the wars, the famine. And beside this beautiful waterfall, the party has just said goodbye to 3 ogres from beyond the Blue Mountains, the Mountain Clan, as they are called, departing, taking with them one of the Sire Bone Knits, which is a root that is capable of almost any type of healing. And in some cases, if rumors to be believed, even bringing somebody back from the dead. But a succubus was in the way, carving up the healthy bone knit because she has a sick child, and figured the only way out was to grab one, keep another, and barter with the dryads of the forest for her escape. She did not encounter the dryads, but she encountered the group. They decided to give her one of the Sire Bone Knits, but it was one of the ones that she had tainted. And so this one carried the curse of amnesia that is inherent to Broccolon Forest. And when she heals her child, the child will lose all memories from its life before this medicinal injection. But that is now. The players are here. The story is no longer mine. I simply ask my players, what will you do? Thank you, Isaac.
The awkward tension is palpable.
Gonna see where we left off. Exactly.
I believe last we were standing. We had we've got the waterfall nearby, and the succubus is still nearby, and
3 ogres just left. I'm holding on to the untainted bone knit, and we've got given the succubus child. Yeah. Oh yeah, fishing, trying to fish out his helmet.
Yeah, in the extreme background, Lopal Mountain, the youngest of the clan Mountain, is using a large stick that he did not break off the tree as per the old ways and traditions, but had found among the fallen dead, and he is literally fishing through the waters. The waters, of course, if you touch them in Broccolon, will cause you to forget. And so instead of going that route, he's trying to fish out 3 lovely helmets from deep within the pool beneath the waterfall. It seems he has one already, but it's not his. He's going for the other 2.
So like there's a really tense moment, and in the background just almost got it. Hey, just to the left a little bit. Yeah,
super tense, and in the back you hear shit.
I turn and I look to Wim and say, so got what you needed. And that mage bitch has what she wants. We're good to be out of here.
Oh, you're talking about Yennefer. Okay, sorry.
I'm talking about you.
What do I...
Aris is pretty chill with you at the moment, as we're both agreeing on a lot of stuff of like, yeah, fuck this succubus and a whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah, so should we
All right.
get clear? I mean, we're not exactly welcome here. And he'll gesture to Ainfra for a moment.
Yeah, and I can't really open a door until we leave, so
We should get going then.
Yeah.
All right.
Just starts walking back across the bridges.
I'd like to have a word before, though.
With us?
That's right.
can
With
we do
everybody.
I mean, good luck getting past him. You're likely to be knocked into the water with that massive stick. So give him a minute. And we can
Is anybody like keeping the succubus where she is with her and her child? She's going to be leaving then. You see her begin to move across the bridge with her child.
Did you release those elves?
Yes.
They've got their. I don't think they weren't tied up, were they? They were just naked.
No.
They were
Like,
naked,
release.
playing in the water.
Oh,
Release
really?
them mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We released the
She's
ogres. I
off.
want to make sure she released the elves as well. Fine. Can I see the elves from where we're standing?
Now that you're at this particular position, you can see behind the waterfall, and you can see that they are all down there. Some of their clothes and gear kind of scattered on the beach, but they're all naked. Some of them just kind of walking. They seem to be perfectly healthy. None of them bear any wounds or,
Just a bit tired, maybe.
right. They're just,
Drained.
plenty to drink, else to do, frolic.
I love. It's just like as if you're paddling with your feet. Like you can't. Every time, like you just constantly losing your memory, right? So like. Yeah, we should probably actually get them out of the water because they're gonna be like, yeah, I just ate. It's been 3 days. I ate just a minute ago.
Ainfra just kind of looks over at them and like picks one that's furthest from the water and just the Witchers would feel their medallions vibrate as she just uses telepathy because she's lazy and really tired. She kind of passed out last time because she that excessive stamina loss, and just says, you might want to get your friends out of the water before they lose all ability to have basic bodily functions.
It takes about a good 10 seconds to kind of have that thought grab hold, but the one that you kind of angle and tether does in fact pull everybody from the water. They sort of wander around, and you can see that there's a path that leads up towards like the edge of the forest, and they leave all of their gear behind, and they begin to walk up into the forest. And by the way, everybody, Hawk did give you additional silver, so you have +4 this session, which is nice.
Indeedy.
Ainfra's gonna sigh but not actually call them back. Somebody else can deal with their shit, but they're out of the water.
Dusa has something to say.
And Dusa steps forward. He draws Ezren's sword and plants it in the ground. He says, back there with the knights, I think I demonstrated that I am Dusa of Gamera no more.
Yeah, you said something about that.
Yeah. Until I find the bearer of that sword, I've forfeited my name. And I ride for the dream. And for the dream alone. Not the nightmare. Rhilestilen was lost because of one child that was sacrificed. Remember that?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Talking to the others, I'm not talking to you.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Drawing.
Just to call you Dusa. I'm just gonna call you Dusa. Just Dusa, wherever.
Ezren decided that a child would die for his kingdom.
The bard?
He was a prince.
Right. Sure. Okay. Yep. This makes total sense. Okay.
That gets weird.
And that brought about the downfall of Rhilestilen. So, from here on out, if we are to ride together, then we will not consider the sacrifice of children or the harm thereof.
No one was gonna sacrifice a child.
We're gonna let it die when you could
Those are
heal it.
different. Those are different things.
It sounds like the same thing to me.
Well, I don't subscribe to your contracts. I don't subscribe to your oaths. This was
That's
the best
fine.
decision for the group, and you know it.
How is that the best decision?
Okay, we'll phrase it this way. The actions of this succubus here, yes, we are talking about you, but it's not to you, so just, okay, so just relax. All right, so were they not to have any sort of bearing on this decision? So the succubus, can come in uninvited, breaks innumerable amount of rules, get in our way, get in the ogre's way, who also had an honorable cause. Several lives are at stake here. And then she
Right.
gets top priority for Sire Bonehead because she's got a young one.
Well, let's not forget the young one. The young one has a right to the bonehead, with whether his mother is mad or not.
You're not wrong there. And now, Charles has Bonehead, with a consequence attached to it that bears equal weight, I feel, for his mother's actions.
He's too young
What
for that.
justice would you have wrought? None of us here are judges. We are witches and mages and healers and hunters.
Lindy,
I think we did just fine in the end. I'm just saying that I won't enter such negotiations ever.
I pray you never get put in that situation.
Lindy, while the conversation is going on, the succubus and the child are almost out of earshot. But as soon as that last brief exchange where they're mentioned and kind of dismissed,
I'm definitely watching them.
roll me an awareness.
I only understand half of what Deuce is talking about anyway, so my full attention's not there. Awareness. 19.
As they're pulling away, they're at the stone island where Lord Hoyt had kind of held court at the end.
Yeah, she's on that bridge too, because she started walking and then Deuce said, wait, let's talk, so
you hear this pretty clearly, but as the exchange goes, we're talking to you, and then basically dismissive as the succubus leaves. For a moment, the child looks back and looks in the direction of Dusa and Wim, and you're not sure who prompts this comment, but you hear the child say, "He looks like Daddy."
Does the mom say anything about this?
Pulls the child to the next bridge, and they're quickly moving towards where Lopal Mountain is. And when they reach that island, they keep a wide berth from him and his stick, but they're attempting to leave the area.
She'll just, as they're leaving, make eye contact if she can, and just give them like a nod that kind of has the meaning of you take care of that now.
Oh, you mean heal? I tell you what, if you're being intimidating, roll intimidation. If you're trying to be empathetic, roll something else to convey just, I hope this goes well. Whatever you think. If it's, you better do this, or I hope everything goes well, the role that you choose will dictate your glare.
I feel like as much as she wants to be intimidating, she just doesn't have the energy right now. And even though it's forgetful Bonehead, it's still Bonehead. So she's just going to go for persuasion or charisma.
Sure.
Go for, they're the exact same. I'll throw charisma because that's more of an oozing off of less words. Let's go for it. Low stat, let's go. 16.
The succubus
Yeah.
doesn't really pay you much mind, but the child looks more at you as they begin to move, and the child almost hangs back and does one of those things where the arms bridge out to
Mm-hmm.
between parent and child, and the succubus stops and, pulls, come. And the child just stares and looks at you for a second. Its sunken features, its pronounced chin and jawbones, and chin bone or cheekbones and jaw, and looks at you until finally the succubus pulls. Helene, come on. And they quit the area.
While that's happening, Aris is just sort of listening to Wim's discussion with Dusa, and will step forward and say to Dusa, I know that honor is important to you. I understand that. I know what it is to make a promise. To swear fealty. To hold a charge. I know what it's like to fail that charge. I know what that feels like, walking about with it, carrying it. I wouldn't want to add to it. But I will also tell you this. I have no conflictions about making those decisions myself. And if it spares you having to make them, spares any of you from having to carry that blood on your hands, that memory, then I'll do it. I don't expect you to understand my way, but I understand yours. I hope it doesn't come to that. I hope we never have to find out what happened in that situation. But I won't lie. I have given a lot of thought over the years to what might have happened if I'd gone left instead of right. If I'd turned back instead of kept writing, if I had sent a letter instead of remaining quiet, if I'd have said yes to an offer instead of no, if I'd have haggled for more coin, if I'd have spared one life or cut down another. You're right. Maybe everything that happened in Rhilestilen happened because that child died. You don't know. That's the truth of the matter. For all we know, we just spared a succubus that will one day enslave a king, become a tyrant. Or that same succubus, they might grow up to be a great ally. They might help us, they might hinder us, they might change the world, they might make no impact whatsoever. But right now, right in this moment, I will tell you that we, as a group, are moving towards something that we have dedicated ourselves towards. It's not the same thing for everyone. For you, it's finding Ezren. It's keeping your oath. For me, it's avenging Ezekon. Finding out why he died. And that's just me and you. I'm honest. I can't imagine what Ainfra is going through. I don't know Yannicka well enough to speak to her motivations, and as much as I share blood with him, my brother has been more of a stranger to me in the past 20, 30 years than I am proud to admit. We all have things that we need to uphold, that we care about, that we value, that we are striving to hold true to. But it isn't always that simple.
I only judge your methods, not you. But I understand, and if one of us must die foolishly, that'll be me.
It isn't.
Witchers always hoping they die instead of planning how they're gonna live.
Well, he's the first Witcher I've ever heard of retiring, so he's leaps and bounds ahead of the rest of us. Maybe you should give more contemplation to retiring and staying retired. Not sure this world agrees with you anymore.
The world doesn't agree with any of us. If we go and Medusa, I don't know and I can't say. But can you honestly say whether Rhilestilen followed for the death of a child or the power of a woman?
Or of a curse.
Or
Who
of one
cast
guard
it?
who didn't do his job.
And the answer is the
First
only one
cast
we
by a
know.
wronged woman.
Was it?
A wronged woman.
But was it? Ezren said so. But did Ezren actually know? Ezren thought and believed it was cast by someone. He also thought and believed that Kelhallo was the love of his grand love of his life and would never harm anyone. Ezren was an idealist, a grand idealist.
Well, I don't know if he was right, but it makes sense to me.
Aye,
We can
and
go
if I
back
really-
and forth. Listen, we can go back and forth with this. But the truth of the matter is that I know for a fact that all it takes is one pissed off individual wielding a pitchfork to change everything.
That's true. So why don't we get the hell out of here? And if we really want to know what happened, there's a way it can be done, and a way to know. If you really want to. And she'll kind of breathe heavily and start walking out towards Yannicka and out the door.
The rest
Just
of you?
glance towards Wim and Lusa, just the three witches left standing there. Are we good to keep traveling?
Fine.
It's me.
And neither of you go wasting your lives. There's not enough of us left for that. And he will start to walk away.
Just will glance at the waterfall, trying to see if he sees anything he saw before.
It's beautiful, but it's just water.
No, just then that's what I'll say to Wim. It's beautiful, but it's just water. And walks off.
It's falling water. A little bit different than a pond. But I get your point.
Well, unless there's anything else to do, as you all leave this area quietly, retracing your steps back up towards the shallow flat where you faced the mountains in parley and not combat. Yeah, Billy?
As everyone's kind of taken off, I kind of want to peruse the elves' things.
You'd have to go.
Left.
You can go down, yeah. I will let you know you're going behind the waterfall, though.
Oh,
Stuff they left on the beach.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm all set. I'm all set.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay. Sounded like a good idea at first.
Yeah.
As you
damn, I love my brother.
as you all kind of back up and retrace your steps through, by the time you all make it and decide to leave, the mountains themselves have taken off in a different direction. You get a couple glimpses of their red metallic armor, their finely made kind of striped plate. But you see them disappear, Lopal being the last one, holding his helmet in what looks to be a towel and vigorously wiping the water off of it, shaking it. And when he sees whoever would be the last person to leave, he will snap a high that looks like half a salute and half a sign of farewell, at least as you know it here on this side of the continent. And then he turns around and joins his father and brother as they leave. There is no sign of the succubus and her child. And the elves themselves, naked as the day is long, have also disappeared. But as you get out, you see that your pine needle path that you followed to this point remains. And as soon as you begin to place foot upon it, about 10-15 feet behind you, it disappears, as if the carpet is being rolled up. Are we just leaving? Was there anything else?
I want to catch up with Yannicka for a moment.
Okay.
And,
It's not difficult to do.
and just sort of like side by side. So what exactly are you after?
Just like in general? Or...
Traveling with us.
Well, Ezekon seems to... You seem to know him. He seems to have known you. He owed me a favor. I intend to collect one way or another. If I have to do it myself, that's fine, but I'm going to use his friends to do so.
What favor is that?
Find the people who murdered my sister. Get back at them.
How did she die?
Stabbed repeatedly. And they took everything in the house of importance to her, elven origin. You know why they would do that?
Aris kind of slowly glances down at the skirtail armor he's wearing for a moment. Kind of slowly looks up, like, I mean, elves make nice stuff.
They didn't take the dinnerware. They didn't take the table and chairs. They just took things of historical value, art. They took less practically useful things and more symbolic or sentimental things.
How long ago was this?
30, 40 years, give or take.
Greg, did I make any kind of roll to see if I would know anything about this? Just general whispers or having heard?
Yeah, but I would like Wim to make one as well. Because
Ca-
Wim would have been
what
able.
kind of
Yeah, everyone could have heard Yannicka. Yannicka, you're not trying to be quiet, right?
Not with this, no.
Okay.
I feel like Aris and Yannicka don't really do subtlety in conversation.
I didn't want to
30
take agency, so.
40 years ago, about 40-ish years ago. Yeah.
What
Had to
kind
pull
of,
up my timeline to get the closer date.
what kind of role would it potentially be?
Let me pull up some stuff and let's see if we can get something right here.
Would Streetwise be applicable if it's stolen elven art?
I'll let you roll that. If you're looking at, that's a specific thing you're looking for, like somebody's fencing it. Yeah, I'll let you definitely roll that if it's something that you want to go. But let me see.
It sounds like a physique roll to me.
Right? Deduction for Wim.
Man, not Dedusa.
Not Dedusa, no.
Okay.
I also have education and deduction as things. Would either of them be more suitable? Or
I'll give you the choice. For you, you can do look at that.
I'll say Streetwise. I feel like we'll cover
Hot
some
damn.
bases here.
You can whisper stuff to me, Greg. That's fine.
Would you prefer that?
Holy shit!
Gosh.
By the way,
Man,
did
I
me
chose the
and-
right time to not talk quietly. Wow, look at that.
Did me and Wim never mention that we,
Nice.
back in the day, were like
Used to
private
fence elven
investigators?
goods. Yeah.
Look at those crits. Lord almighty. Roll and see what your additional crit is, too. Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Wait a minute. Did you two get the
Crit on
exact same
Streetwise.
thing?
No.
33 to
One better.
34.
33
One
to
off.
34. Okay.
One off, though.
We had an Ocean's 11 thing where we just stole elven artwork.
For like several
Oh,
years.
that elven artwork. My bad.
Side hustle.
Billy, would you like me to whisper to you, or do you want to let me share with everybody what you have come to realize upon listening to this conversation and putting things together?
You're running this, so I'll let you make the call.
I'm going to whisper it to you.
Okay.
Oh.
So, as far as the streetwise stuff goes, you know that, black market elven goods, especially armor, weaponry, huge bows, any type of like Fletcher craft or archery products are very in high demand because of their quality, their ability to last for decades and not need any type of maintenance, as opposed to some of the more human constructions. You don't remember there being any type of art though for sale in that time period, and you're fairly confident of it because one, we'll just say that because of that crit, you had inquired right around that particular time at one of these major fences, and nothing seemed to pop up or trigger in your memory. And for you, that particular period of time is very crisp and clear. So it's not that me telling you, oh, you don't remember anything with a crit. It's me telling you it did not happen.
Okay. While you're typing to Billy, can I just ask, the fence in particular, would I still know how to get in contact, like where they were based? If they were still in business, if it's been 40 years, it might not be the same person, but if someone else is like taken over their area and what city it was in, is there somewhere I could like point her for an investigation to start in that kind of general vein?
Just somebody that's good at selling elven goods. The first name that pops to your mind, just because of maybe proximity of the River of Time, is Ananias, who seems to know quite a bit about stuff like that. But if there would be somebody else, Novigrad would be the first launching point for anything. It's the trade center of the north, and so anything legal or illegal that goes into the north, or from the south to the north, or the north to the south, usually passes through the city of trade.
Okay. So I will look towards Yannicka and say, never heard about any art passing through back alley fences. I did know a guy about 40 years back. He used to peddle elven armor, weapons, and stuff like that. Got myself pretty banged up one time. Offered to trade the armor for medical attention. Never went through with it in the end. Managed to get by on my own, but I know the areas that these people used to hang out in. If you're ever in Novigrad, I could probably point you in the right direction, but best I could say is they probably know someone a little closer to it who might be able to point you in the right direction, but I never heard of anything changing hands. Maybe it had some other importance.
Maybe, I don't know. Thanks for thinking about it. It's been a lot of dead ends, so I feel like maybe I'll finally get somewhere with you lot.
Well, I feel like, a lot of us probably would have reached dead ends ourselves if it wasn't for you. We owe you a favor.
Is that a death joke?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Alright. It's amusing.
Quite.
And I think after walking a little bit longer, she'll drop back to where Wim is at. And just quietly go, hey, can I just talk to you for a sec? Just real briefly.
Yeah.
Okay. Just lag behind a bit just to be out of earshot.
I gesture to Dusa and Ainfra and just give him a bit of space. Wim has a thing about elves. He's
Do you still go off in the woods?
Thanks for catching me back there with the cliff and the waterfall and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about
Yeah, about that. If you ever want to grab my hair like that again, what do the humans say? Something about getting dinner first. I don't know. It's just, and then she's just gonna walk away.
If anyone else is watching this conversation, what you just witnessed from Wim was a classic Jim Halpert look, where his eyes get real big and he looks off from the camera. And then he just keeps walking and just maintains.
Yeah. So she's like, so yeah, thanks, and just keeps just catches back up with the group. Just real quick, just a quick quiet thing.
So because this has become a cars shuffling position, jockeying in sort of podium points. As Yannicka comes forward, Aris will drop back slightly to walk with him and just be like, "So you and the elf, are you two gonna?" I mean, you got to think for elves, so. There was the other elf.
An elf. Eris.
Yeah. I mean, you never introduced me to her, so I don't know what you want from me with an elf, the elf, that elf, the elf. You two gonna fuck? Good talk. I clap him on the shoulder and I walk ahead. People are weird.
Ainfra, roll me an awareness.
If you mutter that, you just hear Yannicka, human slang is weird. I don't know.
21.
Dusa, you walked off into the woods, correct?
That's right. A little peace of mind.
We'll say that as this conversation has been occurring, as the party has been traveling, and time being a luxury here, we had a move, and you would guess, Ainfra, that you're getting close to the point where you took off your blindfolds for the first time. What would put you about a half hour away from the forest's edge. But as Dusa moves off into the woods, you bear witness kind of peripherally to what Dusa sees. Dusa, as you move off into the woods a bit, you're only maybe 15 feet from the Pine Needle Trail when the sounds of your party, the sounds of the friends that you have made, the companions that you follow, travel with, almost bleed back and are absorbed by the background static of Broccolon Forest. And without the need for an awareness roll, upon a rise in front of you, you see a great red stag with a huge splay of antlers that almost rival the foliage and the branches of the trees around. It looks, places its head to the ground, and drags a rut with the antlers, and turns as it does so and flicks the earth and broken mulch up into the air in a spray, trots away from you 2, 3, 4 steps, and turns around and looks at you.
Just relaxes his body and lets the tension ease out of his muscles. And just to signify that he's not a threat, he'll meet its gaze and look away, feeling somewhat unworthy of this animal, this prey.
It takes almost like a horse on parade, high knee lifts as it prances a bit, 2, 3, 4 steps, turns back around and looks, and the great head gestures deeper into the forest.
He'll steal a look at it, overcoming his shyness. Yeah, trying to find something within himself that would be worthy of slaying such a beast and living off it. And he wonders if he ever will be. And so, humbled by its majesty, he'll kneel on his good leg, thanking and bowing his head, thanking it in his heart for its offspring, the offspring that has nourished him and sustained him throughout the decades.
A voice travels to you, but it's not in your head. It's not a thought or a feeling or telepathy. It is on the wind of Broccolon, delivered to your ears. You're not sure. You don't see the stag emit any type of voice, but the voice reaches you and it's light, airy, high. Catch me.
I'll look up and slowly draw his bow, start stringing it. He's starting to get used to these voices, these strange visions. So it doesn't bother him so much anymore. He'll knock an arrow.
The stag bolts.
Of course it does. And he'll steal behind it, following its tracks. And
It's still moving. Are you chasing? It's moving quickly into the woods.
Give it chase, of course.
Ainfra, you would see as Dusa disappears into Brockalon Forest. You have a moment to either give chase or return to the others and tell them what's going on. You fear that even by turning your head, just because of the huntsman's garb that Dusa wears, you'll likely lose him in the Brockalon foliage.
Yeah. Ainfra doesn't run. I mean, she can, but only when somebody's chasing her and or attempting to kill her. And she's not going to try and chase after a witcher. She's smarter than that. So Dusa would hear in his head, loudly and at full volume, "If you don't get your raggedy ass back here in the next 3 seconds, I will happily tell everyone that you died drunkenly, passed out underneath a pig shed."
And it's as if Dusa has been awoken with a bucket of cold water. She stands there and the stag gets away.
It's like, and she's just standing there looking at him going, "Really? Really?"
Yeah. He'll just shake his head and look towards that stag that's going off and just say, next time. Unstring his bow and
You see the stag run and kind of do that hop again. And the great beast turns and skitters around a very large oak tree. And when it comes around the other side, you see not a stag, but you see a woman, golden red hair, skin almost the same color. And for a moment, the hair stays suspended in the same pattern as the antler splash, and it slowly drops to her shoulders, but still remains large and majestic, much like the antler splash. She cocks a head, and she dances. 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps. Looks back and cocks her head. And you hear again on the wind, "Catch me."
Well, I guess I'll swallow hard and try to ascertain if there's anything in his training that can tell him what manner of creature this might be. Should I try that?
You can roll me, Witcher training, monster lore.
All right. Here comes Witcher training. It's a 7.
Nothing comes to mind in story or scholarly pursuit.
And torn between the dream and reality. He'll begin walking back towards the camp. I think he'll leave his bow behind.
You see
And
her
his quiver.
You see her as soon as you turn and kind of back to her direction. When you place the bow down, you see that she's advanced several steps, kind of returning towards you. Roll me human perception.
All right. Perception, that's under empathy, I guess. Yes. Oh my. Lucky number 7.
I mean, did you add your +4 to that?
Oh, that's +4.
Okay. You're not
7,
sure.
11.
Yeah, you're not sure exactly what the expression is. You think it's more nuanced than what you're sensing, but she looks disappointed.
Okay. Well, he's not a very empathetic person, but he is very sensitive to nature, and seeing that, he'll tell himself, "Yeah, it'll just be a few minutes. It'll just be a few minutes."
None of you hear
Yusa,
And
like,
he'll,
but I'm still watching him, right?
that. You did not hear that, though.
he'll begin walking towards this lady.
Dusa, leave. It's time to go.
So I hear that.
I mean, it's in your head.
Yeah, okay, I'm just checking.
It's very distant.
It's very distant. All right. So he'll try to master himself, remembering his oath, remembering his duty. He'll feel the weight of the sword on his back and regretfully turn around.
As soon as you turn around, the voice hits your ear one last time. The dream.
He'll nod. And yeah, as an offering, he'll leave his bow and arrows behind.
You see her no more.
Sorry, I thought I saw something.
You did. That's kind of the point of Broccolon.
What do you mean?
There are many things here that can change you, keep you. Old magic, strong magic.
Wow.
But if you had left, no guarantee you would have returned. And never a guarantee that you would have seen us again.
When this is all over, I just might.
When this is all over, I'll happily wave you towards Broccolon in your permanent retirement.
All right, I'll hold you to that.
She smirks at that and turns and kind of leans a little bit on the staff for a moment, breathes, and turns to walk back.
I'll trail behind. Not daring to look back, not trusting himself.
You all see the place where you were gifted the sight as your blindfolds were removed or burned away. Yannicka, you would see the path, distant though it is, between the large trees that marks both the entrance and the exit to Broccolon as you know it. There are no dryads, no blonde rangers, just a disappearing pine needle trail in the forest of Broccolon.
Look around the forest again, just kind of fondly like, I'll miss you as we're leaving.
Then roll me an awareness, Yannicka.
I would love to do that for you, Greg. I will do so. 21.
You see a woman with red and gold hair, red and gold skin, peeking between the trees in distant areas. You see her once, if the exit of Broccolon is 12 o'clock, you see her once at 3, a moment later at 7, a moment later at 11, at 4, peeking from behind each of the trees and watching you go.
Does she look like something I've heard of or seen before?
You have monster lore, right?
I do.
You can go ahead and roll that for me.
21.
Nothing that you can remember reading about, no description that matches or traits that kind of cast to a fiend or anything of that nature, but you get a distinct impression because of the here and there aspect of its approach and its retreat. It is tied to this forest.
Okay. She'll kind of just glance at it. Just kind of side-eye glance at everybody else. Just real quick. Just probably make the forest making her see things, and she'll just keep going. Just keeping an eye on it as it pops up, though.
You all make it to the edge of Broccolon Forest. And for the first time, as you are exiting, the rest of you see what Yannicka saw upon your approach. The woods here is less inviting, less majestic. In several places, skeletons are nailed with dryad arrows to trees. You see them in various states of they're all low, as if the skeleton or the body that had once surrounded it had been lying or asleep or seated against the tree, like a back leaned up. All of them are through an eye socket. The skulls of many have been separated from the vertebrae as it's pulled loose, and the rest of the skeleton kind of piled up at the base of these ancient trees. But the skulls remain throughout. You see at least a dozen of these splashes of white. And then you're at the Broccolon edge. Before you is the field. And as you exit, I would like you all to roll a magic resistance for me.
Okay, Greg.
It's such a magical place.
I'm
sure
going to
shit is.
spend 3 luck.
Let's see, magic resistance.
26.
Okay, I'm gonna start with that. However, I have the heliotrope skill, so I don't know.
7.
It's a lucky number tonight.
That's a great number. It's fantastic.
17. But yeah, I have this other skill that might be applicable.
Seems like everyone else has points in magic resistance or something. Is that crazy?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Okay, so the highest
this as
person
well.
here. Okay. Heliotrope.
I don't know if that applies or not.
I'll give you a little bit of a help with the DC, but it's still not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Eris, I need you to roll me a 2d6 plus 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For no reason?
Well, there's a reason for me.
I think I know the reason. It's fine.
2d6 plus 2.
Please.
Is this how many of us die?
Yeah.
9 of us die. Wow.
Nice.
people who we've just met die. It's great.
Eris, Ainfra, and Wim, as you step across the threshold between the two trees exiting Broccolon Forest, you enter a world of amber. For those of you that have experienced time, the brothers with Gontaro Dim, it's akin to that frozen quality. The world around goes still, but you, for the first time, feel and experience the bleed of that stillness as you push, as if moving through jelly or thick mud, that is surrounding your entire body. I will let the three of you know simultaneously that you feel you can push through this moment, but Dusa and Yannicka are nowhere to be seen. What do the three of you do, Ainfra, Wim, and Eris?
If I turn and look behind us, do I see either Dusa or Yannicka?
You see nothing. You see a void behind you. Eris, so do you. Wim, you see the forest of Broccolon. For two of you, your invitation is over.
In Elder speech, I say loudly, not aggressively, but loudly and clearly, we had a deal. Just to the void.
You would hear a whisper back. If you stop, you will stay with them. You would all hear it.
Ainfra glances briefly at the two brothers and turns and looks behind her and shouts, and at the same time projects mentally, not at Broccolon, but at Dusa. Knight, if you don't get your ass in gear, you'll fail your damn oath. So grab Yannicka and get the fuck out now. And she kind of blinks at the void.
Ainfra, you hear your own voice echo in your head.
Ooh, thank God.
I mean, she also shouted it, so who knows whether or not they heard her. But she, she was trying. She can't do anything else. And she's just she's not moving forward or backwards. She's standing.
Okay.
I look over to Wim to see his reaction.
You see hardness in his face. There's nothing. If he's feeling or thinking something, it's not showing. What kind of trap is this?
A trap of pleasure and comfort and home.
So if I turn back, I can't leave.
I can't guarantee that. Aris and I aren't welcome. But if you turn back, they might let you out if you can resist the pull of home yourself.
I'll get him. I'll find a way.
Dusa seems to be suffering a lot. The forest has a strong love for him.
There's a darkness there. I can't leave him behind.
We'll wait for you here.
Eris?
Leave you behind.
You and I got into a disagreement about me leaving alone If you think that slap you threw me was painful, what I will do to you if you do not come back will be much worse.
If you catch me, I'll let you.
I can always catch you.
Can you?
And Wim is going to step back.
The amber moment solidifies around the three of you as you no longer progress out of Broccolon, and in Wim's case, turn around to return to the forest. And you feel it grab hold and slow your movements, almost like those moments before sleep where you're contemplating the actions of the next morning or recounting the actions of the day just experienced. You're still aware, but it's drifting. You've left the dock and have been grabbed by the current of sleep. And the three of you would see the succubus pulling the child through this malaise, this amber moment, towards the sunshine. And the child, Ainfra and Eris, you would see reach for Wim as they draw close, 10, 15 feet around your frozen forms. And you hear that, "Daddy, Daddy." And the succubus grabs, not harshly, but forcefully enough for a parent of an ill child. And you hear her whisper, "No, it is not your daddy. Your daddy's name is Monix. Come." Begins to pull. And the child keeps saying, "Daddy, Daddy." And as she turns, she cups the child's face. "Elin, it is not your father." And they are gone. And night surrounds all five of you as you become aware along the edge of Broccolon Forest. The air's a bit cooler. Nine days has passed. And that's where we're going to take our break, everybody. We'll be back in 5 minutes. But with Broccolon Forest, it might be 1 minute. It could be 8 or 9 hours. We'll see. We'll stick with 5. Be back in a bit. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Wednesday Night Witcher. We are here just outside of the Forest of Broccolon with this all-star stellar cast. Thank you so much, Legion, for all of the contributions currently made to make it worse, to make it better for them in the form of how do you like that silver, and of course for a donation for a particular Gaunter O'Dim to show up at some point. And we'll see whenever that works out to my favor. But you are all outside of Broccolon Forest, the point that you arrived in 9 days prior. The forest held on to two of you for a little bit longer than perhaps it should have, and the other three decided to stay. But now you're all together. It is nighttime. What do you do?
Oh,
It's time to go home.
Yeah. Keep moving forward.
I need to check on that old man.
Yeah, maybe he's awake by now.
As long as Yennefer didn't burn my house down. And she just brings her hand up and kind of negligently gestures to open the portal in front of her to her front room, main room.
Yeah, I was going to say the good news is all of your stamina is back because it's been
I was about
9
to
days.
ask, like,
Yeah. It's been 9 days.
Do we also get? It's been 9 days. Do we also get the health point recovery that
You
comes with
do
that?
get the health point recovery of a 9-day
Woo.
rest. So
9 days.
I
Did
want.
we get the
I
beer
want,
too?
yeah, everybody has
you
a little
can-
bit
you
of...
can-
Frog gets my
You guys-
bonus.
Billy's
'Cause-
face.
I want to make an announcement. As bad as Broccolon was, this is the first point in the entire campaign. Ainfra has full health.
There you go. It's only season 2. Halfway through.
Episode 17. All right.
So yes. So Ainfra
Bound to
just
happen.
kind of negligently waves and opens the portal in front of her.
And this has nothing to do with, this is a timeout. This is a Greg DM timeout real quick, everybody. This is not, it has nothing to do against Prax, but as a DM, I'm going to put that feather in my cap. That I had a character from Jump Street from second one of first episode to halfway through 18 episodes later, never at full health. That's a personal best for me. Let's try to break it.
Yeah. So everyone roll initiative because
Let's restart this sucker. You know?
It's got like the number of days since last incident. He's just like,
number of days since last of full hit points.
uh-huh.
I know it's not going to last, but I needed to enjoy it briefly.
Awesome. Okay, so yes, you're at full hit points. You have hit point recovery for everybody's stamina recovery. So many of you should probably feel the best you felt since.
I feel like I've always felt. I'm feeling just fine.
Feel just fucking great. All right.
I mean, yeah, physically, this is the best she's felt since, things happened.
Let's see what we
She
got.
just opens the portal to her main room of her house with the table and the bar.
Who's the first through?
That
I'll
sounds
go.
like Garrus.
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay, sounds like volunteer.
I'll kind of draw both weapons and walk through, guard up. Mostly not because of the ambush that Greg has planned, because of who's at your house.
The house is dark when you come through, Eris. It is still, you're not sure exactly what time of night it is, but it is dark. There is no hint of dawn, no hint of sunset. So it is in the darkest of the night. And the house seems dark as well.
Good. Hopefully she fucking left. So I will... Yeah, I will just keep guard on this side of the portal until everyone's through. Unless Ainfra, you just want to hold this portal open for like a little while. I'll go have a mosey
Start a
about.
conversation with
Yeah. Have a chat.
No.
Draw this out.
Ainfra just kind of looks at everybody and points at the portal and goes, "I'm not holding this door for hours again. Please, through. Thank you."
Fine. It just feels funny.
We'll go through.
Feels funny when you go through. Okay, fine. Go.
Yeah, I don't like it. Whatever.
You're all
Wim will walk through, but right before he says, always seems like a bit of an exaggeration there, and then walk through.
Time
as
means
she's walking,
nothing in this campaign. Don't even.
as she walks through, is like she'll come up. She's like, I didn't see you holding a portal to Dimitarium drenched city for longer than was wise and or necessary. And she
No,
lets
he
it
just
drop
held
behind her.
8 men. He just held 8 men simultaneously.
Yes. Okay.
I'm not picking favorites. I'm just
I'm going
pointing out
upstairs.
facts.
To check on
Yeah,
the elf.
I'm
Khalid.
through. I'm not
I don't even
engaging.
listen to
This
what
is
they're
the
talking
bickering.
about.
This is the bickering that happens
Yeah.
as we
I
enter the
just-
kitchen.
I'll just follow. I'll follow Yannicka.
Oregon. Yeah.
I'm not doing a pissing contest with a mage.
Yannicka,
Grab the
when
rubbing alcohol.
when you get to the stairs to go up, you see a silhouette at the top of the stairs, kind of backlit by a low lamp, but it's providing a little enough light that it seems very illuminated in comparison. And the silhouette is there, and you can see that the silhouette has a bow pointed down the stairs. Who goes there?
Who are you? Khalid? Did you wake
bow-
up?
The bow drops. Yes.
Oh, good, you're awake. Let me check your treatments. Sorry, I haven't been here to change them.
The old elf looks just like that.
Oh,
He's-
hi, I'm Yannicka, your healer. It's nice to meet you, I guess.
I remember your face. He takes your head or your hand, if you offer it.
Yeah.
I'm the knight.
Strusa.
Remember you too. And his eyes rest on the hilt of the sword coming over your shoulder. Yes,
How are you? How are you feeling?
How long you been awake?
I'm alive.
Yeah.
4 days.
Right, it's been that long. Okay. Well, how are your wounds doing? And she's immediately gonna look for like bandages and such. Just doing her elf healer thing.
He's still beat to shit 9 days later, but
Yeah.
beat to shit is way better than what he would have been, which is dead. So
All right,
you
get in
can-
there. I'm gonna change your wounds, change
Yeah.
your bandages. All right.
you can go ahead and roll me a healing hands, but your other one was so
Sure.
ridiculous the last time. There's no infection is set in, no
Yeah.
you don't see any type of indication of swelling or internal bleeding. Jesus.
Let me see.
Another
How
critical?
good does he heal? 38, Greg.
What?
That's a combined, because you ended up with, I forget what it was in the 30s. I would think it was either 30
It
or
was like a
31.
35. It
Yeah.
was 35 because I had to
30.
beat I hit 35.
Okay, so yeah, I mean,
38.
this is literally somebody
It's
that
easier now that I'm not pressured for him to be near death. I can relax a little bit more.
right, and your this is still considered your healing tent, correct? As far as
I have to reset it up. It's expired by this point.
okay, so
Yeah, it only lasts for a number of days up to the skill I have in it, so it only lasts for 3 days at this point.
okay. So, but anyway, here in this place where he's been recuperating, you see that all of your administrations have
Mhm.
held and are healing very, very well. He is, because of his age and the
takes longer,
violence,
yeah.
he sustained. But again, you don't think that, other than even with the wounds that he had taken in the abdomen, he'll be stiff forever. That's just something
Mm-hmm.
that can't be taken away. But he'll be alive, which is something
Alright, you're gonna
that-
be a little stiff. Sorry, but there's not a lot I could do about that. But no infection. You look all right. She's just changing everything.
he sits there and allows it to happen, and he
And again, she's very gentle with him. A lot more cordial than she's been with other people.
he keeps saying things like, "You are gifted. Your touch is amazing." Is it you
Just
get
been-
to
Just been doing this a while. Oh, do you mind if I ask you a question? Actually,
oh, one moment, and he reaches over and along one of the bed tables, if Ainfra has those, he grabs something and hands it to Dusa. I found this when I awoke. I believed it was from you.
What is it?
I did not open it.
He handed it to you.
It's a letter. It's probably from.
What's her face? What was her name?
What's her face exactly?
That other mage lady.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right. Take a look, or
Who all is here, by the way?
I mean, I feel like I would have
Yeah.
gravitated in that direction, hearing conversation and stuff, and hearing like a
Yeah, I'll
male
just call
voice
everybody.
being like, "Who the fuck is that?"
And I'll be like, everybody gets in this room. I'm going to start stabbing people right now. So just
Yeah.
like, give me my space.
I'll do the
over.
door. I'll
Yeah.
I'll stay outside at the door and
Yeah.
just
Might
everybody can
I ask?
just stand there.
Might I ask a
We got a
small
letter from your sister.
Yeah, great. Yannicka, might I ask a small favor of you as a
Yeah.
professional?
What?
Could we maybe move him to one of the
Yes, I'm
restrooms?
just all my stuff's here right now, so I'm gonna use it and then move him.
It's just so
Then
that
you can sleep.
I can get to.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's less about that and more about the. And she kind of gestures to the other side of the room, which has basically her entire setup for her
Look,
profession.
it's not gonna take me long. And I'm like just rapping, not even looking.
While
'cause
they're
I'm so
arguing,
good at this.
I want that letter. I will go over to Deuster and try and take that letter. Like,
I'm gonna open it, and then we can. Actually, I'll hand it to you. You probably read better than I do. Go for it.
I check the seal just to see.
The seal is blank. It is a simple circle.
Tear it open.
You would find as soon as you look at it that it is not a letter. Letters take too long. This is an informal list. The list begins with one formal line. I guess you all are dead. Just in case. And the following is mentioned. And are you reading this aloud, or are you keeping this to yourself?
I will read it to myself at first, but I'm probably going to share it with everyone straight after.
Okay.
I'm gonna read it over your shoulder anyway, so
I'm going to allow that because I'm very short.
there you go.
In checked off, thank you, time. In checked off fashion, written in the hand of Yennefer of Vengerberg, it says, a book of great import escaped Oxenfurt before Nilfgaard took Novigrad. Professor Basil Kopernik was entrusted with its care. Kopernik recruited the university's resident witcher Harold of Oxenfurt to aid him in escaping north upon the student's sunrise, a riverboat laden with elven refugees. He was to meet up with Ezekon of Kreve and escape with both book and elven refugees to the Blue Mountains. And then it takes on actual prose as the list seems to stop. The book speaks of many things, a great deal of them it speaks of in absolutes. The book represents the cornerstones of the past that still hold weight in the present. Treaties and promises between the elves and certain kingdoms in the north. Also, like any good book, it holds secrets. Secrets that have remained hidden to this day. There is a power in secrets. Perhaps the last great commodity on the continent. Knowledge, power, magic, they have all had their day. The future is ruled by secrets, and the fear the mighty have in them. It is unsigned.
I smell it.
Yeah, it's hers.
Fuck!
A couple things here. As this was going off, Yannicka, you wouldn't recognize the name Basil Kopernik, Harold of Oxenfurt, and the Student's Sunrise. All of you would recognize the Student's Sunrise as the boat that was surrounded by drowners up at the harbor when you lost Ezren.
The one that was full of beggar
Beggar chick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least they'll have room for all those refugees now as you cleared out the hold.
No, the refugees had already gotten off.
Uh,
Saved Basil what's his face's life. remembered his name because it was an herb.
Okay, so we're...
The book.
Yeah, this book. She never names it. It's not titled.
Helpful.
Yeah, so she doesn't name the book. She,
Gotta find that scholar then.
we have no idea where he is. We know where
It's
he
another
was.
Witcher.
What, 10 days ago?
Yeah,
12.
And
and a bunch of refugees.
And he's heading into the Blue Mountains with a bunch of refugees. Why do we care?
Because he was looking for Ezekon, and I'm betting I know why.
Okay.
And that book might have some secrets that could be useful to us.
It could have secrets that are useful to us. It could tell us where the local innkeep stores his sultry messages to his mistress. Secrets does not mean value, despite how flowery she writes it.
Literally. God, does she soak everything in that?
Maybe one day we can drown her in it. So, why do we care about this? And why?
I don't know. Like,
Why have
I'm not going to assume all Witchers know
Maybe.
each other, because that's, I don't know, rude. But do any of you know a Herald of Oxenfurt?
The Witcher?
He's a...
Sounds like a scholar to me.
He had, he's a Witcher. Bear, I think.
Whim, roll a Witcher training for me, please.
Ah.
Ezekon was supposed to help him take the elves to the Blue Mountains and...
Yeah.
Basil.
Whim, you would know of a Herald of Oxenfurt, but he was presumed dead.
All right. Wim isn't currently in the area where they're all discussing.
Okay. Oh, okay. So then put a pin in that later.
When do you know I will of Oxenford? Possibly.
Yeah, I school the bear. Whatever.
As you are healing, and this note is then read
Mhm.
aloud and shared.
And then I assume they're gonna
Yeah.
bicker, so I'm gonna turn back to Khalid and go, so I had a question for you, specifically, if you don't mind.
He-
Couldn't...
He looks at you before you say anything. It speaks of sunshine shared. It's peace, the book they talk of.
The book.
Written by
What about your
elves.
tattoo?
Is the tattoo of the dream elves.
My sister had one just like it, like yours. So,
Who is your sister?
her name was Florial.
His face falls. Annika.
Yeah.
He puts a hand on top of one of yours whenever it's working on him.
Mm-hmm.
I am sorry.
I'm sorry too. She was the sunshine that this world needed.
He squeezes the top of your hand and leans in close. If anybody wishes to hear what is being said, you need to roll an awareness.
No, it's okay. I respect the privacy.
Ainfra, you can't. Eris, you can. He leans forward and speaks directly into your ear, Yannicka. That book belonged to your sister.
Really?
From the old times.
Did you know her well?
She remembered more of the old times than even I have. We did not lose her. We lost a part of ourselves.
Yeah, I know. It's taken more than lost. But maybe we can get some of it back.
He squeezes again.
Something back.
Only Eris hears this. Of course, Yannicka does as well.
Mm-hmm.
The night is almost over. The dawn is coming. That Witcher carries the dream on his back. It is the last sign. Your sister saw this coming. She also knew that she would not see it.
She just, I think, gives him a kind of a weak smile. Finishes. It's probably the last bandage she's working on. And then just kind of excuse herself. And just get some air for a moment.
Aris is also a fan of air and love.
Lisa's gonna step towards the old man.
And she'd give him a respectful little head nod bow on the way out too.
His attention would turn to do so.
I serve the dream.
As do I.
What news of Rhilestilen?
You tell me.
Yeah, it's true. Well, its prince was recovered and then lost.
You see a tear drop well in his eye and run down his cheek.
But we are on his trail.
It is true, all of it. Everything she said.
Who?
One that owned the book spoken of in your letter. Night would end and the night would end. And the dream would come. The dawn. Sunshine shared.
Yeah. I think there's still a bit of time before dawn. And it's always darkest then, so... But we're on his trail.
How can I help you?
I think it would be best if you told me of this kingdom that I've never seen.
It is a kingdom that has never been. It was a promise, a dream, between elves and men. It was so close. And then it was gone.
But not lost.
No, and not forgotten.
Then it will happen yet. I have faith.
Did you pardon me? May I ask a question?
Yes, of course.
The prince, did you see him? Talk to him?
Yes. And knew his son?
Son.
Yes. He had a son. His son is also lost to us. And we seek him too.
What was his name? I knew not that the prince had a son that survived.
Well, he was known as Ezekon, and his father called him Adalbert.
Ezekon of Kreve.
You've heard of him?
Yes.
That's why we are all here. We all met at his funeral.
Did you farewell him with fire?
Yes, we did.
He leans forward. Did he show you the way?
He showed me the way. North. What lies north, I know not.
I do not know. In the book, it speaks of everything, of the evil, of the plot, of what ended the dream.
And you believe we can recover it?
If anyone can, stories say it is you.
I'll salute him with his sword. With the sword. And, kneel. And he'll ask him, How did you become involved in this?
He smiles. Because the prince asked me to.
Because the prince asked you to. Prince Ezren.
Yes.
You knew him.
I did.
Well, we have many stories to share.
When we find him, we will share them together.
All right. It's gonna be a while, I think. In the meantime, feel free to share whenever you feel like it.
Having heard what Ainfra said, Khalid begins to pick up his belongings and gather them up to move somewhere else.
She's just gonna gesture him to one of the guest rooms, not in any way, shape, or form to try and she would also again offer in very, very formal elder speech, offer him full guest rights in her home and apologize for not being here when he had woken. I hope you find comfort and salvation here.
He kneels or he doesn't kneel, he bows in respect to your polite divination. And in lack of being rude myself, welcome Raiders from Little Red Dot, playing a little Witcher, everybody. And we welcome you in. Hope you all had a fantastic, fun session with Dot. I know that you certainly did. Wim, where are you?
The smell of rosemary and lightly cooked meats permeate the household as Wim is brewing up dinner late at night. And once he finishes, he plates the food that he's prepared on 2 plates, takes a coin out of his pocket, leaves it on the counter for the materials that he has used, and then Did Eris and Yannicka pass through the kitchen?
Yeah,
To go out back,
because
you had to.
You have to go past the. Yeah, so Yannicka
Yeah.
would have very quickly passed through the kitchen. If you'd gotten a look on her face, she would have seemed a bit upset.
Um,
And she's just been in the garden, and then I
Mhm.
assume Eris would have followed after that.
so he's going to follow the trail of Yannicka out to the garden. And
You would get there first, so whether the brothers are following as two predators or just one, I will leave that up to...
You find the wild Yannicka in a native habitat outside in the garden.
Look at her, she's eating elderberries again.
So
Okay.
is it 3 of us out here now?
Yep, in the order of Yannicka, then Wim, then Eris.
I'll give you 2 a moment to like. Aris will take a moment to like. catch up.
Eris skids to the stop at the dining room and just goes into the kitchen for a moment.
I
see that.
think Wim left the stove on.
On the wood burning stove, yeah. Just, wow, look at all this fire in here.
And
I don't think Yannicka would have noticed that Wim followed her.
He's holding 2 plates, and he gets in about 2 to 3 feet within her, and just prods the side of her shoulder, and he'll just say, "Dinner."
She just kind of clears her throat. You see, before she turns around, you see her go up to her face for a second, and then turn around. Wow, you actually made dinner. Thank you. She'll take it.
You mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Sure. Let's sit down and eat. And question.
Yeah.
She
have you
just
seen
goes
any-
cross-legged. Just sinks down.
Does she have any big chairs? I don't want to break.
I was just gonna eat on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Wim will get down on like a knee and like prop the plate up with like his hand with the elbow on the same knee that is forward, and kind of start digging at the food.
She's just cross-legged and she's got the plate in her lap. She's eating. How good of a cook is Wim?
Let's find out.
That's a physique check, right?
Right, it's exactly what it is. That's what I'm gonna call for a physique. No, let's see.
Gosh,
can
our
bro-
Telsorian
he can-
games. Why
he
isn't
can
there a
bro-
cooking check?
He can
Crafting.
brawl. He can brawl with like
Yeah, he had to
ingredients. right?
tenderize that meat.
Tenderize meat.
Let's
I
I
feel like it'd be
mean, wouldn't you-
something crafting.
I mean, would it be like
Crafting?
nature?
let me
Wilderness survival? I mean,
no. I want
you have to live in the wilderness and cook what you eat.
Well, I think it would depend on the kind of meal. Like, could you
That's what
like,
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It could
Are
be
we
like a
going-
social etiquette for like a really fancy
Yeah.
meal. Or like
I want. Okay, I'm gonna leave this up to you, Billy. Is this just like your standard trail fare? Like, you're just cooking the meat that you would over an open fire just to get the nutritional value of the food, or are you trying to make this taste good? There's a distinct difference, because if you're on the trail, you're just cooking something to eat it. You're not sprinkling it with spice. You're not, using duck fat if available, which we know that it is available here.
It's not.
No, it's not. He ate it.
Did
Remember?
you drink it?
I'm sure there's more.
Here's the second container.
Right.
Also, like Greg, he used rosemary. Like
There was
That's what I'm saying. There was an element of
Here's-
actual care.
Here's the essence behind Wim. Like, he wants the food to taste great, but it's gonna look like garbage, and he knows it.
Okay, well, presentation's out then. So, but let's go with just then.
Tastes great, looks like awful.
I will take. Well, I mean, I would take social etiquette just because, but I would also take performance or style. I know that style depicts clothing that you wear, but it
Mhm.
could also depict the manner in which you prepare food. And I don't think there's any craft that would work as much as
No.
uh no.
Yeah,
I'll go
no.
with those. You're really trying to get this done and make it's going to be edible no matter what. But
It's just
yeah,
how
and we're
good
going to make
is
it a really low DC, a DC of 10 because you have a kitchen. You're not cooking over an
Let's-
open
I
fire.
am.
Yeah, let's do a social etiquette. You said.
Sure.
Social etiquette.
This is you really putting on, like, I mean, you're standing up in the corner and like sprinkling, you know?
Salt Bay, that shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pow.
just women in the kitchen with
Oh
rosemary.
my god!
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Here we go.
The Gesso brothers also own a chain of restaurants. Like, this is a thing.
So with a crit, yeah, and that it's
28.
like Matt just said,
It's
it is canon now. I'm not gonna make you this.
That's good.
What this crit's gonna do here, Wim, is you don't have to roll this anymore. You are established as a badass cook. So no more rolls for you to see how tasty it is. If you have even base ingredients, this shit is awesome. And so without taking any
It
agency,
always looks like shit.
yeah, it looks like presentation sucks. It looks like dog food,
It's like,
but
like gumbo.
right. It looks like someone ladled out gumbo.
Oh,
But with a
yeah,
28,
gumbo looks awful but tastes so
It's
good.
Yep. So, Lindy, I'm not taking any agency away from Yannicka. But as it is
This was a good meal.
presented with the ingredients added to it, it couldn't be done better. So
I
that's
think
what you have.
she doesn't think of the presentation because I don't think Yannicka, she's great at doctoring and she's great at alchemy. I don't think she's good at applying those skills to cooking at all. Like she knows how to blend the flavors, but it's never great. It's just like this is how the recipe is. She doesn't like deviate from it. So she's not a good cook. So I think she just like, oh yeah, this is what my cooking would look like. And then she takes a bite and her eyes kind of get big. Like, this is really good. She doesn't say anything. Her eyes just kind of get bigger. She waits for him to ask his questions.
Sometimes good food has its own healing properties.
I'd agree with that. This is really good. I didn't know you could actually cook.
It's easy for people to assume things about me by the way that I look. So I just let them.
Same, honestly.
I don't mean to pry, but I heard you talking about your sister Broccolon.
Yeah, I wasn't being particularly quiet, so that doesn't surprise me.
And you said that you live together.
Yeah, I had we'll call it a breakup about 50 years ago, and my sister moved in with me after that, and yeah, until she died, which was about 15 years later. So, but we lived together a while when we were younger, and she did her own thing for a while, and we got back together.
What did she do?
All sorts of things. She was so smart and creative. She knew a lot of history. She wrote a lot of it down. She basically found so much of our elvish culture, our art and lore and knowledge, and she was compiling it and distributing it amongst the elves to, kind of, I mean, we're basically a lost cause at this point, but rekindle something at least for those of us who are left.
Yeah. Losing someone's hard. I'm not going to try to relate to you because it's different for everyone. How familiar are you with the forests around the Blue Mountains?
I'm in them all the time. My houses in the Blue Mountains. I'd often go in the forest for herbs and such, and occasionally visit some other elves.
Yeah,
Or they'd come to me if they needed help or healing. I've lived there a long time, okay, like a century or so.
so you're pretty familiar.
Yeah.
What about the other elves that lived here?
Knew a lot of them. Not particularly well. I'm not the most social person, but I recognize them if I saw them. I could tell you if they've gotten drastically injured in something at some point.
You know any elves that are particularly good at curse weaving?
Do I, Greg?
I'm gonna give it to you, yeah. You know of a brother and sister known as the Sinblings. They are rumored to be the greatest weavers of curses left alive. And they live in the Blue Mountains. Or they did.
Yeah, brother and sister, like masters of their trade or whatever.
There's no whatever.
Yeah, okay. Just takes a bite of rosemary pork. They're really good at it, okay.
Ezekon and I made a quick stop there for his request. You don't know anything else about them. You've never dealt with them, you've never laid eyes on them, you've never...
Yannicka, you would only have need of them. They don't come out. They are basically kind of segregated from the rest of the elven people. They are forced to stay in their own little area. So if you have a reason to think that there's some, if there's a reason why Yannicka would have gone to see them or had need of them, then we can definitely talk about that. But if it's just general, you would know of them, but probably never have seen them.
I don't, as tempted as she would be, I think, to want to curse the people who murdered her sister. Ezekon was working on it, and elves have forever, so, not forever, but a really long time, so I don't think she would have gone that drastic quite yet. So she could, no, I've only heard of them. I know where they're at, but never met them.
You know an elf named Rhilestilen.
You'd recognize the name.
Yeah, name's familiar.
Do you know where, just outside the forest, there's an altar?
Yeah.
That's where we met. And that's back in Brockalon when I kind of got pushy about the old ways. That's when I first experienced that.
No. Someone instructed you well.
Yeah. Got attacked by wolves. Didn't kill any of them. We're proud of that.
Good job.
But we
Probably just hungry.
Yeah, that's what I take quite a liking to dogs, wolves, animals in general. Anyway, we met with these twins, and in case in whatever we got coming up this planned, I die, I want to let you know this so you can seek out what you need to seek out. But there was quite a large collection of elvish cultural things in this den.
Really? How long ago were you there?
It's about 5 years. They laid a curse on me.
Did you see... It's probably a really far shot, but did you see a red shawl or scarf with autumn leaves and flowers embroidered into the edges, and a sun in the middle.
Was someone to wear or to put up for decoration?
Either, honestly.
Is that something I would have seen?
Roll me an awareness retroactively. You saw something like that.
I saw something like that. I remember in the corner. I maybe it was something like that. I don't. Okay. No, I don't want to give you.
Yeah, no. I take everything with a grain of salt. There's like the perfect amount of salt in this. She just takes another bite and she goes, my sister wore a shawl. Made it herself, styled it after some art she'd seen. Looked a lot like that, so. It's one of the more identifiable items that was taken.
Sister seems pretty talented.
Yeah, she was.
Sorry you lost her. And just to be clear, I just want to make a dinner to get you alone so we wouldn't have any prying ears or eyes. I just felt like you deserved this moment in peace.
Thanks. I needed some quiet. Just away inside. Learning a lot tonight.
I'm gonna head back in, so you wanna stay out here, leave your plate at the door, I'll come and pick it up later.
Thanks for dinner.
Yeah. And then when we'll stand up and go back inside.
As you walk in, the camera does not follow you into the first floor, but we go up into the second floor window. Ainfra, what are you up to? This is your house, after all, as these dirty witchers have descended upon it, cooking in the middle of the night, boots off, mud in.
She shakes her head, and after she shows Khalid to a guest room, she caught Deuce's line, and she would turn towards him and say, "What do you mean we're trying to save him?"
Trying to save oh yeah. I'm not sure what I mean about that, but I have a feeling.
Is dead.
I have a feeling it might be more complicated.
Define more complicated.
You're the expert.
I cannot. What do you mean? He's dead. I literally saw him die. Dusa, he's dead.
And we burnt his body. But his soul, I think his soul is still around.
Much like a wraith, like Eris is carrying around. We've all seen it by this point.
I saw something in the waters of Brokilon. I saw him. I saw Ezren. I saw someone I did not know with them. Oh, an elf. Woman. I saw this. Ezren spoke to me, and he said a mage was involved. and binding them somewhere.
That's not.
I'll put his arm around you, and I'll say, I've been meaning to tell you this for a while. I'm sorry I was not there when it happened. And I need to know whether these things I'm seeing are true or just in my mind.
You need to know if his soul is trapped. Why don't we ask him? We should ask him. Why don't we ask him? And she'll kind of like gesture with her offhand and kind of walk away down the hall back towards her room and into that side space that she's got curtained off with the trifold screen, wood carved, and she starts pulling ingredients out of a cupboard, like a Chinese apothecary cupboard, and pulling drawers open and grabbing them.
Okay.
I mean, we could just ask him. It would be fine. I mean, it's not like the weirdest thing that's I've ever done.
Ainfra, you would hear over your shoulder, please let me know if you find a little dog in there. It should be
Oh, fuck.
like a rust or a blondie, kind of like a face like a cockapoo.
Why do you need a dog? And what do you mean you need a... Who are you and why are you in my house?
Contro Dim. And yours is very relative.
Do I see this guy?
You see nothing.
Okay.
You have frozen.
Dusa's looking at before he was frozen, he was looking at Infra trying to determine if she was having a nervous breakdown.
Ainfra, you would see Dusa with that kind of questioning look, frozen, beyond your screen.
If he knew anything about magic and heard comments that she just made, he might know the answer to that question.
Well, he knows. He's pretty good with magic.
So what do you?
You know,
he just knows signs.
What are you looking for? And might I inquire? I guess I might, since this is my place now.
This is still my house, right?
Agree to disagree.
Why do you think it's not?
It looks like your house, but it's not. Because I'm here. And that changes a lot. Like a coat of paint. Or a bonfire.
So, what do you want? Why are you here?
You were the last to see him alive, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Then you will be the last to see him not alive.
You mean I saw him dead? Yes, I saw that.
No. You saw the change. You need to see him now. But not yet. You farewelled him with fire. Yes?
Yeah. Yes.
Did you see where he went?
No. I didn't.
That's because something went wrong. Would you like to know what?
I like to see a lot of things. That's what I do, right?
Yes, but you do that for others all the time. Let me help you. Let's see if we can look. I'll never be able to not know where you are. Where are you, Ainfra?
He took me with him.
You know you are...
Oh, you mean more physically? I'm standing here, I guess.
No. Are you dancing with an old witcher? Are you back in Aretusa, learning your trade? Are you helping others? Or are you getting revenge?
All of the above. I multitask really well.
Agree to disagree.
I mean, I am a little busy at the moment. But it's not like they're not all steps on the ultimate goal.
You're running a race, but you've fallen behind.
Have I?
Would you like me to help you catch up?
What can you bring to the table? Right now, I've got 3 witchers who are agreeing that the death of their friend would be worth a lot of things. I've got another witcher agreeing that if I take him to a dwarf, he'll help me end the life of another mage. I've got another mage who I've just done a favor for, who might be willing to help me get the lodge on my side as I plot a giant war against the Magus Regional of the North. Like I said, I multitask really well.
Ezekon was very good at his job. He set many things in motion. And all it needed was the fuse, triggered at his death. And it would have all made sense. But they stopped him.
They always do, don't they?
The grand explosion did not go off. And so all of his friends, his sons, his brothers, they have bits and pieces and fragments that they are putting together like a shattered mirror. But you are his bomb.
I always knew I could go off in my own time.
He trusted you
Does he
above
want the
all
tempest
others.
or the maelstrom?
He wants them both.
And she shakes her head, and her eyes just start to flash as she just lets that littlest bit of control go. And you see the chaos that she holds tight inside most of the time. Just the flash of it before she pulls it back in. So, Mr. Odin, is that your proper title? I want to be polite.
Call me Gonta.
Call me Ainfra.
I will.
I figured. What do you want
No, it's
in
not
exchange?
what I want. Tit for tat. That chaos. That little bit. You'll need more of that. Much, much more.
Am I cursing more people?
No,
Am I letting the frost out?
you are fulfilling the wishes of your love, if that's how you thought of him.
Everything. Ezekon was everything. And she kind of brings her hand up to her throat and grips the nautilus that's at her throat before she brings it down a moment.
You're the last I give a gift to. A favor for a favor. The rest have already heard my offers and taken them.
And what do you want?
I want to be told a story. One I don't know the ending to. This one is delicious.
You want the chaos out.
I want to see the end of the story. And I want to find a damn dog.
I can help you find the dog.
You can help me find Fleck?
Why? Finding people I'm good at.
Yeah. You find Fleck, that's a different bargain. Bad dog. Hey.
But there's a thing about dogs. They run when they're scared. You have to be quiet and let them come back.
I want this tale to be unspoiled. That there is so much to come. The chaos, tempest, the maelstrom. When you need it, I will give you all you can handle. I will funnel it into you and take the power for your revenge.
In exchange, you just want the story, the tale.
And one other thing. You cannot see him, even when he does come.
I never need to see him. I always know where he is. He always knows where I am.
Then we are agreed.
The tempest in the maelstrom for your story.
Story I do not know the ending to. Delicious.
The ending is... But Gunter... It's not about the ending. It's about the tale and how it gets there.
Oh, dear mage. Leave that to me.
You're a very charming fellow.
I can be when I want.
Since everyone else here has been offered the hospitality of my house, are you going to partake as well?
I would if this were your house. Agree to disagree.
What is it then?
A place. This is the spot on the page between paragraphs. It's that spot that some people put the book down and never take it back up. It's a test to see who can finish the tale.
I have a grand love for books. Never put them down until they're finished. You never know what secrets you might find in the margins.
I look forward to the ending of this one more than anything.
I hope it meets with your approval, and you don't regret your choices.
Oh, I never regret. Except losing that damn dog. I don't even remember having it, but...
If I find that dog, how will I call you? Or should I just call you out?
Oh, I'll find you. But you tell him you say, Fleck, bad dog. Bad dog. And then you scratch him beneath the chin.
Doesn't... She has this look on her face is like, oh, you don't know how to train your dog. It's fine. Yes, that will happen. Are you going to stay for dinner then?
Oh, no, I must head north. There's more to do. I will not be trapped between the paragraphs. I am a bard. For today.
I hope your singing is better than that fella Dandelion's.
Oh, I don't sing. I just remember stories. Tell them around fireplaces and Gwent tables and grave sites. Best stories at grave sites. Such beautiful falsehoods.
I look forward to the tale we tell then.
Until the end, Ainfra.
A pleasure, Gunter.
Dusa, you snap to that look of
What?
questioning on your face.
So what's it look like? Should it look better? I mean, has it changed in a split second?
She's less manic, definitely, and she's turned away. And she's looking at what's the ingredients that she's pulled out in front of her, and she slowly starts to put them away. But there's a hesitation there, but she closes the drawers, pulls open another one.
You all right?
I was reminded that what I was going to do would be a bad idea. So I'm going to do another thing. We need an answer to a question. And the only way to do that is to look far and long into the past. We need to know if Kalhalo, well, if she was the cause of Rhilistilen's fall.
You think Ezren didn't know what he was talking about?
I think Ezren was an idealist and a wonderful, wonderful, noble gentleman. Stress on the gentleman. Who wasn't really aware of what we're trained to do. Mages guide and plot and plan, and we don't look a week in advance. We don't look a year in advance. We look 30 or 40. A generation, 2, 3. We plot marriages and deaths.
Hmm.
We arrange alliances.
Yeah.
And if she
You know, 'cause-
decided that Rhilestilen needed to go,
Was she his mage? Who was his mage? You know?
she was his mage and his lover for a period of time.
Right.
But, and she'll pull a vial. It looks a clear liquid, kind of frosted inside. And she looks at it and then looks to the bed. What I'm about to do will take a while. Don't wake me, and don't let them come for me.
All right. Guard the door. Oh. Yeah.
And you would see her slowly start to draw
Ooh.
symbols on the ground that look like chalk symbols, and that look similar to what you've seen her do with hydromancy before.
Mm-hmm.
But it's around the bed, and she just sits down on the bed and at the last moment uncorks the vial, looks at you and says, like I said, don't wake me up. It'll break it. And she downs the vial and goes to sleep.
And that seems like a great place to end this session of the Witcher Family of Wraiths. And I will just transition over to this screen so everybody can see what we have on tap next week. I know we have several things going on right now. I know that there is the potential for a Duke Aglaval moment, but I would let everyone know that you completed 2 of your active quests, Fate's Fell Fortune and Elf Against the World. And so as those 2 are completed, I will award you the IP points we spoke about a few hours back.
Nice.
So everybody, I will simply say, what a fantastic time to be alive and to be playing with these great, great folks. Let's go around, talk to them, see how they're doing, and find out where we can find them the rest of the week. Let's start with Prax. Let's start with you, since you finally got a chance to talk to the ODIM. Thanks to our lovely donations that have come in. So Zombie, thank you very much for that.
Oh, I'm doing okay. That was a lot of fun. Gunter O'Dim is interesting when Ainfra's in a manic freak out. Like, didn't ask anywhere near as many questions as you expected. But what do you know, it'll be interesting to see what happens next week. I can't wait to see what happens, and I can't wait to see what happens with the Duke. But hey, y'all, as for me, you know me, I'm at Deirdre Donlin on Twitter, or Praxgoeth Esmiophoria, as you see me around on Twitch. And tomorrow you can find me over on Wandering DM for the season 1 finale of our Dragon Age Search for Anders. It's gotten interesting. Last week, I actually got in, there was a bar fight, and I may have threatened Hawk, the champion of Kirkwall. It's a thing that I did. It's great. And then I am going to be on Saturday over on Wandering DM at 1 o'clock in the Eastern, as I get to be running some Rapscallion Black Flag and all the juicy, juicy bits that are coming out of that. It'll be great. But other than that, check my Twitter, because I'm always post where I'm going to be, and all the wonderful people that I get to hang out with and talk to and tell stories with, because these are wonderful people, and I love every one of them, and I love seeing them every week, and I just can't wait to see what happens next.
Me either. And let's go over to the mayor of Flavatown, Billy. Pow! Billy, how are you doing, my friend? Where can we find you online? And how the hell can Wim cook as well as he can? I love that though.
It's the hidden things. You can find me at Bill of the Forest on the Twitters. I had a great time tonight. There was a lot of show and tell. Yeah, so many cool things happening here. You can tune into the finale on Tuesday of WebDM's Simba Room campaign. Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern, and then if you're watching right now, you should definitely tune in Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on Tales of the Grim for a Witcher campaign that is super dope. Yeah, there's things are getting more complex. They seem simple, but it's unraveling before my eyes, and my tiny little bear brain is trying to wrap itself around all of these things. But I'm having a blast. I love playing with all these awesome people, and I hope we can do this just every night of the week. Let's just cancel everything else we have going on and just do this for a while. I think that's fair. All right, see you guys tomorrow.
Oh, I love you, brother. Let's go over to Lindy. Lindy, my friend, where can we find you online? But more importantly, we got some juicy tidbits there.
Yeah. Yannicka got just like beat in the face with a bunch of feels tonight. That was fun for her. Some were good feels, some were not so good feels. just like someone took a 5-pound bag of feels, just like as much flavor as Wim cooked into that food was how much feels she was hit in the face with. And I can't wait to see what happens next week because of it. And dinner, yeah, that was great. It was the best meal I've ever had. But you can find me online eagerly counting down the days till next Wednesday for more Witcher. And if you like Witcher, we have our finale of Crimson and Ash this Sunday, or at least we should. We were supposed to have it last Sunday, but Zoom wasn't working, so hopefully this Sunday. And if you like just regular game stuff, every Monday and Tuesday on my channel, we run D&D 5e. And this Saturday, we have our twice this month, Aliens one campaign. It's gonna be super great. We're gonna have a super awesome guest. Shit's getting real. Our DM said he wanted to make a movie out of this episode upcoming, so I'm scared. Back to you.
Fantastic. And if I know Travis,
and Aether's Walkway.
Yeah, right. We got that too. Fantastic stuff. Let's jump over to Josh. Josh, my friend. Pirates on Saturday. Josh, my friend, how are you? And I, for one, I'll go ahead and say my art. My art is the Gesso brothers deciding that tonight was the night when they were going to just nail aspects of their personality via crit that they have not done so far in a season and a half of this game. And so, something fantastic. Whoa. Wow is exactly right. Wow, thank you very much. I'll hit this, but my friend, where can we find you online? And where can we find you online?
And words and stuff.
And words,
right?
As I drop down to try to figure this out.
So, God, that threw me completely off. Yeah, so like, I kind of honestly want to do a spin-off where it's just like Wim and Aris between contracts when like work is tough and they can't find like witching, so they just like open a restaurant or become private investigators or stuff like that. It'd be amazing. Like I think it would be like that. I don't think Aris is going to be anywhere near the cook that Wim is, but I feel like Aris could be like a server, barman, and front of house. So it would be like, it'd be a restaurant where the food is amazing, but you have to tolerate Aris as your server, and it would just be the worst experience of your life.
You never know what you're eating either.
Yeah, you never know.
But it's delicious.
You can provide whatever meat for the pies I make you want.
Yeah. Oh, God,
I won't question where the meat comes from.
Yeah, I feel like it would just be very difficult. Like, and I can imagine Aris just being asked all these questions about what Wim was cooking, and him just being like, just place an order or go home. Just please. Just fucking leave. But no, it's been a lot of fun. It was really nice to so many tense moments. I don't even know where to go on about, so I won't. But like tonight was amazing, and you can find me online at roleplayers_TV. Follow me on Twitter. I will post where I will be on Friday. I will be back with The Haunting of Seawall Orphanage, which is going to be interesting. Some shit happened last week. And or not last week, the week before, the last episode, and we have a couple more episodes left, and I don't know what to say about it. It's just a thing. It's just a thing you need to witness. There's no describing it. There's no me telling you about it. You just need to be there and witness it. That's Fridays at 3 p.m. over on Encounter Roleplay, and yeah, that's me.
Fantastic, my friend. And I didn't mean to interrupt you when we got that $50, and I just wanted to make sure that anybody that it was an anonymous donation, so whoever would like, if you want to DM me privately, let me know what you like to do with that 50. I will definitely put it to work. Josh, thank you very much for putting up with that. I didn't mean to step on you or leave you hanging with the outro drop. JF, my friend, how are you? Where can we find you online? And I was really hoping you were going to go off with the Lady of the Woods, but that's just me.
Yes. I was hoping Deuce would too, but Deuce, yeah, the woods, they're lovely, dark and deep, but Deuce has got promises. So he'll be back for his bow, though. He'll be back for his bow. I'm good. This was a great episode. I love that the puzzle pieces are falling into place, and that we managed to get a whole episode despite all the gremlins and everything else. And I love that our characters are talking to each other and the drama there. It's beautiful. It takes forever for Wednesdays to come these days. So, yeah, hang in there. That's it for me. Double Critter on Twitter. And on Fridays, City of Light and Shadows with the lovely Foxhole speaking French. Sometimes.
Fantastic, my friend. Fantastic. Everybody, Legion, thank you so much. Everybody that donated, Hawk, our very own Elijah Sawyer, Isaac, Zombie, for the fantastic donation to get the GOD in here. And of course, our anonymous donation at the end. Thank you so much. I said it once, I'll say it again. All donations are split evenly among the cast. So the time that they spend creating passionate and being content creators for this show is rewarded as much as we can. And I just want to say we have a lot of really fun things coming up. At some point, we're going to get to Matt's character, who is holding my the ghost in the machine that will help us out with a lot of this stuff. But we'll see. I can't wait to. JF, you said it best. Wednesdays take a really long time to get here. It's been a really tough couple months for everybody. I understand and appreciate that for everyone. I just hope that you're able to join us for Tales, be a part of them as much as is humanly possible. Join us on Discord if you're watching on YouTube to talk about the shows, or follow us on Twitter or ask questions. You know, the more the community discusses this show or any shows on any of the channels that were mentioned, on Lindy's channel, on Encounter Roleplay, over on Role Players, anybody else that's running shows, over on Wandering DM, our sister show for Witcher is on Tuesday evenings. You go to these wonderful places that are mentioned because the people there are kind, and it's a great way that if you ever want to play or find a group to play with, games are constantly starting. So please don't think that because you're isolated in your home or having to shelter in place that the games end. They don't. They can continue and they can be great. And so we do have Aether's Walkway, which is GM'd by the fantastic Alice from the Straticus Academy. Those are on Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We have our finale of Capers on Sunday at 1 p.m. That has Foxholes in that one as well. Gloss and Gadgets, that is my name, DM Shane, and Craig from Nerdburger Games. And then back around the horn next Wednesday, we do a little bit more Witcher, so I can't wait. Everybody, please take care of yourselves, and as the campfire goes down, there's only one thing left to say. You can't always roll nat 20s, but by God, you can always roll play. And especially if you're the Gesso brothers tonight, you can roll a shitload of crits. your spies, your art dealers, your world-class chefs, you're this, you're that. We're going out.